I just found my new favorite coin, without a doubt, hands down, the greatest opportunity I've ever come across in my entire life. And I'm saying it casually because I'm very confident it's the first coin I've ever actually personally involved myself in. And as you guys know, I talked about Aerodrome Finance being my favorite coin. This has direct ties towards that. It's pretty much identical when it comes to opportunity. But in this case, this is a smaller coin. Aerodrome's already established. Listen to what I'm saying. This liquidity pool is very small. Just to give you a recap, Coinbase is probably creating some type of monopoly with the government and Federal Reserve. We don't know for sure. This is speculation. But there's a lot of ties from USDC, Coinbase, and Base, which is a layer 2 that stacks on top of Ethereum. They created something called the Base wallet and the Base layer 2, which by my standards of being in crypto for 8 years, being full-time for 6, and researching over thousands of projects, I have never seen a more institutional grade, seamless experience, crypto experience in my entire life. And I'm not just saying that. Let me just be clear with you. There is no better quality application in all of cryptocurrency right now when it comes to purchasing, buying and selling, or just integrating with the wallet. There is nothing better when it comes to software and user-friendly experience. We just haven't seen this ever before. So the quality is impeccable. The connections are ridiculous. And so I talked about basically how Aerodrome Finance is the marketplace on Base. It's the #1 marketplace that's happening right now, which brings me to probably one of the most important predictions I've probably ever made in my entire career, which I believe this is kind of the new official land grab in cryptocurrency. What do I mean by that? It's a land grab, right? For all of these softwares, for all these tech companies, whoever can build the infrastructure to this new internet plumbing that we're having. We are creating a new internet. This is happening right before our eyes. Whoever can pivot themselves will take advantage and create, obviously very successful businesses in the future. And if you can invest in the right places, this is where you can make a lot of money as well. So again, when I say most important prediction, listen to what I'm saying. I do believe that this will be the plumbing right here, what we're looking at right here, of the new internet right here. Listen to what I'm saying. And just to give you an explanation, the internet up until this point has always been communication driven, right? All of these social medias are just text, images, and video, right? Even when you shop on Amazon, if you buy toilet paper off of Amazon, the merchant processing is not actually happening on the internet. It's happening through banks. Banks are sending and receiving information. Even that itself is information driven. There has never been value actually captured on the internet in the form of a token or an NFT ever before, before blockchain technology. And so now, when this happened with the formation of Bitcoin and all these cryptocurrencies, now the next step is basically how do we organize all of this? It's like, you guys didn't know this, but like the first websites were just like forms. Like if you look back, on the first websites ever created, it's literally just like a form, like Reddit. Like that's all it looked like, right? And then now we have all these social medias and video transfer and all these things. And so right now they're trying to organize this new, we stepped into a new dimension. Values captured. It used to be just information. Now it's, value, right? And so we've seen it before with the dot-com bubble and the dot-com boom. And so the same thing's happening with value now. Value. It's kind of like the difference between someone saying they're going to a concert versus purchasing tickets, right? You could say all you want on social media, right? People talk all the time. They lie all the time. But until you actually buy the tickets, until you actually put money behind something, like real money, right? That holds another weight of significance. And so that's the upgrade that's currently happening to the internet. All of these tokens, all of these NFTs, you can invest in certain areas and it holds another weight of significance. We never had this before. This has never happened ever. And so what I'm claiming is that through this new shift, this new internet, all of that, the majority of that is going to be happening here, right here. I believe Ethereum is like dirt. It's like land in the world. Base is the environment. So Base is the layer 2 created by Coinbase. Base is the environment. It's the trees, the plants, the living ecosystem that people actually interact with, right? So Ethereum is the security layer, the foundation. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be other lands, right? Like, Solana and all these other places. But I think the most significant one will be this. This is where I believe mass adoption will happen. Like mass adoption will likely happen on the base app specifically, the environment, the trees, the plants, and everything. I said this in the last video. Again, watch it if you have to. Aerodrome Finance is like the marketplace. So it's like Aerodrome Finance to me is like being in New York and building a business in New York. Like these coin projects are building businesses in New York before it was New York. Like it's just the best marketplace, one of the best marketplaces on the face of the planet. That's like Aerodrome Finance. And then I'm making a claim from what I'm seeing is that Zora is the airwaves. And this is a token, and this could change. I believe that this is the Zora was probably going to be the least significant with the least data, but it does really look like Zora is like going to be the invisible layer that carries communication through the back end layer. And I'll explain what I mean by that. But the base app, right, which the AI is powered by Zora, will be the town square. So just think about this, right? And I'm going to explain what all this means. We're going to come back to this multiple times so you really comprehend it. Don't get discouraged. This is very difficult stuff to explain and to comprehend. So I'm going to try to explain it as best I can. But Zora is like the airways. And then the base app is like the town hall. Let me explain what I'm saying. And just to be clear with you guys, I don't think Zora is the big investment. It could be, but that's not the coin I'm talking about. But I want to explain how the new internet works so that you can understand the significance of it. So before, like for example, for Instagram or Facebook or any software in the world, they had a back end and a front end. So for example, Instagram has all of these, back end infrastructures and software, and they manage it all themselves, right? And they don't give anybody else access. Like Twitter does not get access to, for example, Instagram's backend, right? So they have a backend, and the front end is what you see. So like the front end means like you open up the app, you click like, right? That's the front end. That's what you visually see. It's kind of like similar to a store. When you go into a store, in the back, let's say you go into, I don't know, Walmart, right? In the back, there's all these packages that they're unpacking. There's all this organization. It could be like food preparation. But then the front end is the actual store. Every software is like that. So it doesn't matter what software you have on your phone or whatever. They have a front end and a back end. And typically how the world has, usually been is it's been centralized, right? And if you understand how centralization versus decentralization works, basically what I'm saying is that every software and pretty much everything has been super centralized, including the banking system, everything. And then when blockchain came out, it decentralized everything. And so what I see for, the future of the internet is, and it's already happening, is multiple front ends for one back end. So you could have, for example, and this is what Zora is. Zora is a decentralized social media. It's decentralized, meaning Zora could have multiple front ends. It could be powered by Zora. You could have one social media here, two social media here, three social medias here, and all of them are powered by the same backend, which is Zora, but the front ends look different. This is the future. This is already happening. I learned this with pretty much every app you use in crypto. Uniswap, there's aggregators. They all have a version of this, right? And so what I'm explaining when it comes to this opportunity is I'm talking about the social layer. So when I specifically talked about this screenshot here, what I was saying is that Zora are like the airwaves. I want you to think about communication. When you speak, there's noise, and then the noise travels through like the airways, and then it goes into somebody's ear and they hear it, right? And so this is like an invisible layer that carries communication. And then the base app, as we know, right now it's a wallet for crypto, but they have already integrated in the beta, and I'm going to show you the beta. They've already integrated specifically a social media. So the social media is powered by Zora. They said it from their mouth. Base is going to be powering their social media by Zora, right? So we have the base app kind of like a central meeting place or a town hall. Just to show it very clearly, as you can see right here, base, what was the exact day? July 16th. They said, earn with any post powered by Zora, as you can see right here. So this is the base app, the official base app created by Coinbase, saying they're going to be powered by Zora. But if you look on Zora, the interface looks completely different from the demos. Let me show you. This is also from the base app on August 4th, 2025. And let's take a look at what it looks like. This is their, as you can see right here, a new social network within the base app. We've never seen this type of stuff, guys. MetaMask never had applications like this inside their app. It's ridiculous. Look. So as you can see, it's a social media with videos, text, and images within the base app. I also want you to see something really quickly. It's very important. Notice how right here, these are, icons and notifications that you'll see at the bottom of the base app. Right now they're in beta. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to look at it. Hopefully they get me in after this video. You guys should let them know I do want to, see the app for myself. But the point is they're integrating a new social media, and it's powered by Zora. And see, Zora, this is what it looks like. This is not what we just saw, right? This is completely different. So we have two different front end interfaces, and they're both powered by one backend, right? Which brings me to my next point. On accident, I launched my own token, and it's about to break $1 million market cap. It's done almost a 20x since I launched it. And the reason why I say on accident is because let me give you the story. I was on a live Q&A, and I'm searching for coins. That's what I do in my groups. I look for coins live on the live Q&A. Sometimes we find opportunities on the live stream and things like that. And we came across Zora. I've always known about it, but I wanted to really dive in, on the live Q&A. So I create my account, whatever the case is. And as I create my account, I accidentally launch a coin. And I'm like, what the heck? This is Alex coin. That's crazy, right? And then we had a person in a live Q&A purchase like $1, and then another person purchased like, $2. And I was like, whatever. But as soon as I got off the live Q&A, I started freaking out a little bit. I was like, wait, hold on. I just launched a coin, and a whole bunch of people see it. And then I have, an assistant researcher, and he puts $300 in. And I'm like, wait, hold on. You own more of my coin than I do. That's weird. I start freaking out, and I'm like, what's going on? This is insane. And then I was like, you can't own more of my coin than I do. And so I put $700 in. And then the next thing you know, my editor was like, yo, bro, and he puts a couple $100 in as well. And it was almost like this buying frenzy, this weird buying frenzy. And then I tell my community, yo, this is really crazy. I tell people what I do with my trades publicly. I always tell people when I buy, what coins I buy, and things like that. And so I tell the group, I got to kind of tell them, like, I just bought my own coin. And then they start freaking out. And the next thing you know, somebody drops, 15 grand, and another person drops 10 grand. And it ran it all the way up to this crazy amount, which is still really, really small. Like, let me show you what I'm talking about. So if we come over here to Dex Screener, it's at $1 million market cap. But if you understand market cap, it's super irrelevant. Market cap doesn't determine cheapness of a coin. And I've made many videos on this. When a coin is cheap, that basically implies that it can move up very fast and you can sell it again. And so that entire number is based off of liquidity. Now, if you've been with us for a while, if you've been, researching with us, there's this coin called Virtual's Protocol. And I want to pull it up for you. So Virtual's Protocol is a really, really crazy coin. Let me go to CoinMarketCap actually and show you. But Virtual's Protocol right here, it was like one of the biggest 100x's in recent history. And I've done research in the past. And the crazy part about Virtual's Protocol is that right around here, the liquidity pool is around 200K. And so if you're in my group, we have a framework with the living blueprint where it shows us exactly what type of coins to look for. And we base our risk off of liquidity. So the lower end liquidity below 200K is like the highest of the high risk. It's where the coins, this is usually where we see, these massive multiplications. Now, if the liquidity is above, let's say 10 million, we can expect maybe a 5 to 10x, right? And I could show you that, right? Look at Virtual's Protocol. This right here was around 200K from the last time I checked. And if we go to something like, I don't know, like Ethereum, or let's go to something a little bit smaller than that, maybe something like Uniswap token, and we look at their liquidity pools, look at how big their liquidity pool is. I'm going to click that right there. This is 80 million. So something with 80 million in liquidity, you'll expect it to move a lot slower. Liquidity pools are like kind of exactly what they mean. They're like a pool of money. And if you have, for example, imagine a whale, a big whale, like a literal whale, right? And let's say he weighs 1 ton, right? And he jumps into a small liquidity pool. If he jumps into a small liquidity pool, he's going to displace the entire pool. Like the liquidity is going to fly everywhere, and this will skyrocket the price, right? If that same whale of the same size jumps into a 79 million liquidity pool, right? Then what's going to happen is they're not going to move the pool by that much. The price is not going to move. If there's a lot of money in something, it's harder to move the price. So it's blowing my mind because although this seems like, oh, it's $1 million, like I'm too late, that is not even close. Like the last 100x we've seen started at 200 200K liquidity. And so what I want to explain is what this is, because there's actually another coin, and this is the coin I'm telling you about. Like, I didn't just, when you mint in Zora, when you make a new coin, they give you 50% of the supply. Not only do I have that, obviously, and I'm going to use that to fund different projects to advance the coin, not only do we have that, but also at the same time, I put my own hard-earned money into it. So this is a better investment than anything I've seen in recent history, because like, I'm just trying to, like, we started putting it together. We're like, yo, Alex, wait, hold on. You get 5 to 10 million views per month, right? Not only that, but coin projects come to you for marketing consultation. They try to pay you to promote their coin. You have all this untapped potential of your YouTube channel, all these things. Like, this is it. This is like knowing a low liquidity project that, like, bro, like, just kind of spitballing here. I don't know how else to explain it to you, because it's weird because I'm talking about myself. But the point is the liquidity pool is really small. Probably been doing marketing for 8 years in crypto. I know how to go viral consistently. I've gone viral on every single platform known to man, like X, Instagram, TikTok. Twitter, X is Twitter. Facebook, I've gone viral on Facebook. Obviously, I've gone viral on YouTube, every single platform. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, okay, so the marketer's guarantee, which is me, right? And so, like, all these things are happening. Is like, so the Alexander E. Lorenzo token, the best way I can explain it is anything I ever do in my life, right? Every business venture, everything, every PR, this is going to be the value, the coin that's attached to that, right? This is what that's going to be, right? But then we have another project, which is CoinPix. So it's funny because I forgot his name. Shout out to that dude. This is a little bit more undervalued. But CoinPix coin, same thing. I launch it, starts going crazy, right? 548K market cap. This vision is a little different. I've actually been building a decentralized social media for 2 years. I've been in the plans. I've been working on it for a long time. And I'm like, okay, well, if it's a decentralized social media, I'm going to make a new front end, and it's not going to be exactly like a social media. I believe I'm not going to be competing with Base App. I'm going to be doing more of group management. So think about it like, for example, like a better version of Slack, way better, way more simple and elegant with a social media element built in. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I will release a white paper and a future vision on all of this, but that's what this brand is going to be, right? So we have these two tokens that, the first one I accidentally launched, the second one I purposely launched with CoinPix. Someone bought my domain and then sold it to me. So literally, the best way I can explain it, like, I don't want to go into too much detail. Long story short, this is me wrapping it up for you. We launched two tokens. One is my brand, my name. That's like capturing me on the blockchain. The other one is capturing my business on the blockchain. The business, the goal there is to make some type of social media, and I already have the plans, group management social media. I'm going to make a front end interface, and it will likely be powered by Zora the same way that the Base app is, right? That's the vision there. The vision of my current brand is literally anything I ever do forever will be, the value will be captured in that token. These two tokens just launched, right? And so this is this new social layer. This is what I meant in the beginning. I was like every claim I've made, this is true. These are my two favorite tokens moving forward. And it doesn't mean it doesn't integrate into Base or Aerodrome. These are going to be on the Aerodrome decks. Like right now it's in Zora, but I will be creating liquidity pools on the Aerodrome decks, and all of these things will be rolled out. White papers will be rolled out. Guys, just keep in mind the look at how much growth. I just want to show you again. Look at the growth. And it's been 7 days exactly 7 days. And it wasn't even, I got to give myself maybe an attempt of 5% of anything. I think I made one short form video, and I talked about it in my group like 4 or 5 times. And so that's kind of the gist here. And if you want to get access to it, all you have to do is click the link in the pinned comment, wherever I put the link, or you could just go to Zora. I'm going to give you my invite code, but you could just go to Zora anywhere. It doesn't matter. And type in Alexander E. Lorenzo and CoinPix. That's it. So it's CoinPix or Alexander E. Lorenzo. And you can get access to that. You could even connect your Base wallet to buy it. You can go to Coinbase. I recommend, if you don't have any money in crypto, use the Coinbase, to get your money from your bank account into Coinbase, then send it to the Base wallet, and then connect your Base wallet to Zora. And then Zora, you can actually accumulate whatever you want. This is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I did. I purchased a lot of both of these coins. As you can see, I'm the top holder of this one. And this is not even an initial distribution of supply. I'll always announce what I'm going to do with the money if I do sell. It would likely be to, you know, pay for developers' salary and things of that nature. And then we have coin picks. Same thing. I put my own hard-earned money into it. And so this is not just like me holding this. I have skin in the game is what I'm saying. I have actually skin in the game. I actually have more of the coin pick supply, as you can see right there. And obviously it's a more undervalued opportunity here because the market cap is half the size of the other one. So that's the opportunity. Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything. I'll be making updates on this. Oh, and if you want to have communication and discussions about it, join my $1 group. The link will be that pinned below as well in that. And basically, that's where all of the discussions are happening. It's called CoinPix Genesis. I do also give out a free framework, a personal finance framework. Let me show you guys. So if I come over here to CoinPix Genesis, I have an entire free, or it's not free, it's $1 a month, excuse me, a whole research strategy, my proprietary research strategy on how I find 100Xs and how I'm going to be building this new coin, as well as a personal, I spent so much time on this because the vast majority of people don't make money off of crypto because they simply just don't have their personal finances in order. Guys, many courses for $1 a month. Do whatever you want. I'm not telling you to do what you want with your life. Well, what I do know is that I made approximately, I can't sell everything, but I made the most money I've ever made in my life in 1 week. I made approximately anywhere from $1.2 to $1.5 million in 7 days. And it's because I think people are very interested in me launching a token. I know a lot about it. I've spent years in the trenches really understanding it. I've worked out all the kinks of what a token should be and what it shouldn't be. I know how to market. I know to guaranteed go viral. Guaranteed, it's predictable, meaning if I just focus my energy, it's like guaranteed to go viral. I've already spent $1 million on the software in the past, trying to build out a data and analytics company. I still have access to all of that software. I've managed a team of 10 developers, made my mistakes there. I've already gone through the trials and tribulations of all of that, and I won't make the same mistakes again. And I guess the point I'm trying to say is, hey, bro, come or don't. It's okay. I love you guys. This is weird. This is so weird. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you so much. Peace out.